Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. So guys, I just said today we are going to cover Splunk, but the current form of Splunk what you see basically is something different, but I'm teaching you something different. I'm teaching you the Splunk which you know that, and the reason why it's got popular. But current form of Splunk basically is a complete observability platforms. That means you can do a lot of things. But today in this today's sessions, we'll only talk about the log management capability of Splunk. That is how and why it got popular. So, but Splunk in the current format, they can do infra monitoring also, APM also, synthetic also. So yeah, many things they can do that. Okay, what is Splunk, right? That's the first question. So if you want to understand the Splunk, then first of all, you have to understand what is a log analysis process. So one of the common mistake which we do is like we ignore the log analytics, log, you know, processing, log monitoring or something like that, because we say like our hosting provider already is being giving me sufficient information, so we don't need to do that. Sometimes we call it we don't have a plan, we don't have a budget or something like that. And sometimes we call it we don't have a time, we are busy in a different religious, different things, and bringing the log analytics is not our top priority. Suddenly your system is failed. Now system has failed and you don't know what is the reason. Maybe it has been hacked. Let me tell you here, when the system is being hacked, hacker is not a very intelligent person. They will try to hack in a day and they will hack it. It's not like that. They've been trying to find out the loopholes in the system from last 1+ years through different various ways. And they did not find it from last 1 year, but the moment they found out all these loopholes, they hacked it. So that means you had a logs of the system from last 1 year and you did not do anything. And that is where you realize you need a help and you will realize your mistake. And that is where the log analysis would be coming in your picture. So what is log? In a simple way, if you want to define the logs, anything, whatever we do in the IT system is called log. Yes, you're watching my screen or not, that also is being recorded somewhere. Yes, everything. You click on website 10 times, it's been recorded. You browse any website, it's been recorded. You do something on some website, it's been recorded. You chat, talk, speak, share, email, anything you do, it's been recorded. It's been logged. So that is a log. So data generated by machine computer processing applications and sensor data is called log. Logs occur machine data is everywhere. In fact, you are generating it right now. So what are the some of the source of the logs? So most of the time you find IDs log, firewall, IPs log, anti-malware, proxies log, network infrastructure, servers logs, databases, application logs, and many more. So here, if you see that, you have a logs from the Linux server or Windows server, you have log file access, logs file systems, and so on. You have network firewall logs, warning logs, alert logs, IP addresses logs, and all. Database audit logs, configuration logs, schemas logs, tables, queries, and all stuff like that. Web transaction logs, click streams, location, browser, time, a lot of it. In a DevOps operations, we also generate a logs, test logs, log4j alerts, event logs, code check-ins, and many more. Nowadays, you are using all the IoT devices, right? GPS, RFID, biometric, temperature, limitless. So you saw that so many sources we have a logs, so many sources. And you know that nothing I'm teaching you something which is very great. You know that everything. But why it is so important to analyze the logs? One of the things which you have understood is like security, because we started that discussion with. But we use and analyze the log for various different reasons as well. Like a production monitoring and debugging, we need a logs. Resource uses, do the log analysis to find out HTTP errors, slow queries, ROG automated robots, security issues, security issues, right? You want to you want to do tracking your site and platform visitors. You want to do new threat discoveries. You want to understand your network and security infrastructure, securing infrastructure. You want to extract something which is actionable, automatic for that log you wanted. You want to measure the security issues, compliance and regulations, incident response. Last but not least, right? So these are the important reason why we are looking for logs. Now, guys, you understand why log analysis is important, what is log, and so on. Now, I can teach you, I can teach you how to collect logs. Please mind me. Okay. Please understand. I can teach you how to collect log. I said collect. I can teach you how to search the logs. But what to search, I don't know. I cannot teach you. For example, let's say, did anyone have taught you ever in your life how to do Google searches? Did you have any sessions on it? Anyone told you like you need to do Google searches? No, correct? Anything you wanted, you search for it. So same way, I will teach you how to set up a place where you can search anything. I'll teach you some of the search techniques also. But what to search for it, you have to understand, you have to find out your requirement. For example, you have a project requirement to find out some data. You only know that what are the fields, what are the applications, what are the formats, what you want, what you don't want, what you want to filter, everything. But because we are doing some sort of training, so we have to find out something in that. So typically you learn with this, what you have in front of your screen, what to look for in logs. So you can look for the logs where the password has been changed. You can look for the log where unauthorized login has happened. You can look for the logs which you have collected in a system where login failures are there. New login event, malware detections, firewalls opens and closed port, DDoS attack, errors on network devices, file name changed if something has happened, file integrity changes, data exported, major issues actually. Someone is exporting your data, you should know. New processes started and are running. Process stopped, shared access event, disconnected events, new service installation, file auditing, new user accounts, modified REST values, and many more. So these are the things you can find in the logs. So let me ask you one question. Let's say if I give you the entire system logs of Windows at one software. It can be anything, but in our case is a Splunk. And I will tell you, hey, find out the all the logs in Windows logs where the password has been changed. What strategy you will use it? Anyone would like to help me out? What strategy? Forget about, I'm not looking for the answer. I'll just want your algorithm, logic, what logic you will use it in order to find out the logs.
I think it's a very broad subject, right?
Yeah, true. But logic.
We have to check for
I'll
the
give you the Windows log.
event log number.
Wonderful.
Well,
You answer
depending
my
on
question. Simple.
what
Yeah.
you want to look at, you have, let's imagine that it's a network connection that you need to monitor somehow, right? You need to know the origin, the destination, eventually the port, and maybe something similar to this.
But here password changes of Windows. So it has
Okay.
no
So
relationship. Yeah.
Windows, I don't know about. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not to be sorry. I mean, it's just we are discussing about it. It's not right and wrong answer because I'm just discussing the approach. So for example, let's say password changes. Someone knows about Windows. Then he immediately said, okay, I'll go to event ID because I know a Windows machine very well. Everything has been recorded in an event logs. And I will look for the event ID for password change. Correct now? In Windows. Correct now? This is you will do that. And you will find out the event ID is 4724. So I will search the all the logs where event ID is equal to 4725. Simple. Give me all the logs. Simple, right? Correct now?
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to say, it's not about what to look for. Anything you look for, you should know internal of the system. Okay, one more time. I want to know, I'll give you Apache log. Apache is a web server, right? I want to know whether the DDoS attack has happened or not. That you need to tell me. Just tell me the logic of it. DDoS attack, denial of service attack. Denial of service attack. Only logic. I'll give you Apache log. So logic, I mean, just give me the logic. I mean, don't need to be right and wrong. Just we are discussing. Only logic.
Maybe I missed the part that you asked the question. Actually, sorry.
Okay. So I'm saying like, okay, I'll and here all the traffic you are getting. And this Apache is writing some file, that log file, all the traffic. And I'll give you the access to this file to Splunk. Okay, and this is you. What you will do here on the Splunk to analyze the logs, which where you can tell whether it's a DDoS attack has happened or not, and which IP. Okay, so here what you will do, you will find so many traffic, and now you need to know a little bit of DDoS attack, and you will find out the traffic which has come from the only one IP address. This for one IP address, and let's say more than 30 requests per minute, or let's say, I mean, just threshold, maybe 100 requests per minute from only one IP address. That means it's a DDoS attack. Simple. So block this IP address, because from one IP address, how can you get more than 100 or maybe 1000 or something like that? So what I'm trying to say here is I can teach you how to store the data. I can teach you how to search for it, but I cannot give you the logic what to look for in the data logs, because you are the person who's working in your project, tools, applications, environment, and you have to build that logic, and that is a learning curve here. Because here, if you see, I think 20 options are there. For this 20 different logic is required, and you need to build that skills. Are you okay with it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are the common fields? When you look at the log, what are the common fields you see that? Though it's not necessary, but you will find some of the common fields, which includes time, source, destination, protocol, and few more, something like that. Again, the format of the logs, it depends on the what tools you are using it. You need to be expert in that. Okay, so format of logs and fields of the logs may not same in all the tools. Now, next question is, okay, while doing the log analysis, what best practices you need to follow so you do the things? Nowadays, this best practices is not very relevant, but not relevant or not important. Why? Because nowadays we have a tools, very advanced paid tools, which is doing all this kind of work for us. Okay, this kind of work is being done by the tools, but you should know that what exactly, let's say you want to analyze any logs, what are the things you should do that. So first thing, your tools, the one which you are using, must have pattern detection and recognition. Remember that pattern detection and recognition is very important. Why? You have guys millions of logs. You can't go and read each and everything. So if there is a pattern for the log, let's say if there is a pattern, so I will ignore it. Info, I will focus on error, something like that. So the tool should give you the pattern, and you should find out, okay, which are the unique pattern which you need a little bit more focus, and the sum of the pattern you can ignore it, don't need to read it more. Okay, that is a one of the best practices. Second one is a normalization. What is a normalization? So guys, normalization means, see, nowadays we are running application in a distributed environment. Some same application we are running in India cloud, in Mumbai region. Same application we are running in Europe region. Same application, because we want to serve our end user globally. So I must remind you, when you run in the India server, the timestamp, let's say, is being recorded in IST. Let's say if you are storing in the Mumbai server, Europe server, maybe London server region, then it is in BST. Now, if you search one logs format, one is in BST, one is in IST. So it's a different, right? When you search the logs, you will get a different, not consistent results. Correct? So what you should do? So basically, you should, normalize the data. Normalize the data means before storing it in your log server, you should normalize it. Either you convert British to the India time format or India to British time format. So that way you have a very consistent results, and that is called normalization. So you should normalize this. Now, guys, tagging and classification. Now, this also is one of the best practices. What is a tagging? Let me tell you. Nowadays, we have so many microservices. Each microservices, we have a web server, app server, a database server. Now you have hundreds of microservices, and this, let's say, web server Apache log. So Apache log is from the which app microservice, which environment, which product? I don't know. Apache, because it's used in every product, every microservices, every environment. How do we classify? This tool will not be able to do that, right? We need to do that. So this is called tagging and classifications. We should be having a ways to tag and classify all the logs which you have. Okay. And also correlation analysis. What is that? Correlation analysis. Let's say if you hit to the load balancer to app server to web server to app server to database to this payment gateway to this. So many, in order to serve the request to response, you access so many microservices, so many endpoints, so many different third-party libraries. How do I know each and every logs is related to one transaction? How do I know? Or let's say one session, one user. What you did in the dashboard page, what you did in the login page, what you did after in the logout, transaction page, all this thing, how do we correlate this all transactions belong to one user or one transaction ID, session ID? How do we do that? So should be a way to correlate the logs between the different data points. So that's one of the best practices. And also tools should help you to ignore some of the results because not everything you have to analyze it. So these are some of the best practices which every tools we should be having it. And most of the tools nowadays it's these features are available. Okay, so what we do in this case, so we have to collect the logs, clean the logs, convert into structured format, analyze the data and obtain the result, and that is your work. Generate, collect, aggregate, normalize, alert, store, summarize, and make conclusion and act on them. So what are the tools we have for this? So guys, we have so many tools. We have Elasticsearch, which I covered last day. Okay, I covered the Elasticsearch not for the search context, but in observability context. But you know what? Elasticsearch is the main competitor of Splunk. So Splunk is an important one. Elasticsearch is the second important one actually. There's many other tools are available. For example, Grafana Loki is also supported. But yeah, right now we are focusing on the Splunk. So Splunk, which is breaking the silos for everyone, from the service desk to application support to developer, administrator, and everyone. So this everyone need different types of logs, and Splunk will give you that logs at only one platform. So that's the kind of power what we have. So yes, Splunk is one of the fastest growing it's not growing, I would say it's capturing the large span of market in terms of log analysis and SIM category. So dominant player actually already. Okay, so with that, we are going to discuss about some of the things I'm ignoring it. How Splunk works. Any questions so far, all of you?
Not yet.
Okay, so guys, you know what? Splunk is having very distributed setup, and it can the architecture is so agile. You can design your architecture as per your requirement, whether a small organization or medium or large enterprises. The architecture can be designed in a different ways because you have a component. It's a Splunk is basically focusing on the enterprise users, so you have to be keeping in that mind. But because everything is cannot be taught in just couple of hours, so this is the one of the architecture is easy to get started with it. So what you have, so guys, I'll put it in this way. This is, we call it search head. Now simply if you call it, this is a google.com. Simple. See here, google.com. You search for it, here it is, right? So this is like a search head, you can call it. You can search anything whichever you want. This is your search box. Okay, so this is something we have in a google.com. Okay, now what we have, this one, indexer. Look at this. So this indexer basically is a database. Okay, That is where all logs is being stored. Now remember that I said indexer. That means log is not being stored as it is. Log is stored in the, you know, in a with an algorithm which is called inverted index. I think I think if you go to this place, types of index, okay, hopefully I'll find quickly in, see here, I'm trying to find out quickly. Ah, so this is the algorithm which is being used: forward index, inverted index. So basically Splunk stored all the logs in an inverted index concept. Okay. Now, if I'm giving you just a head point, if you have a more interest in algorithm, you can study these two algorithms. You'll understand. So mind it, Elasticsearch also stored in the inverted index concept. Okay. So that way. So that is something which we have. So this is the indexer which stored all the data, index and stored all the data. And this you can call it a database of Google. Now, guys, Google, how gather all this thing? So they have a basically robot or proxy or whatever you wanna call it, crawler, we call it crawler. So many crawler. They have a very advanced crawler. If you scan any website, on I mean on website, you will see that Google crawler will be some then coming traffic. They will come and crawl your website actually. Okay, they will crawl. So here, these are the, you can call it something like a agent, but basically in Splunk we call it a forwarder. So if you see it carefully, Windows forwarder, Linux forwarder, there is a web forwarder, there is a Mac forwarder, there's a different kind of forwarder, UDP, TCP, and a lot of forwarders are there, but these are the forwarder. Okay, installed in the Windows, Linux, Mac, and different types of forwarder. Now these are the two major types of forwarder we have. We call it universal forwarder, which I'm going to show you the demo, and there's a one more forwarder called heavy forwarder. Guys, let me ask you one thing. Do you remember in ELK uh, stack session, what was the job of Logstash? What was the job of Logstash? Anyone remember? I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are audible, but I
Yeah.
think I unfortunately missed this presentation about ELK.
Yeah. So for the log stash was stashing the log, filtering the logs, not structured to structuring, bringing to the structured format and something like that. So heavy forwarder is doing the something similar actually. So universal forwarder is a lightweight. It just capture the data, not process, and send it to indexer for index. But if you want to do process, then you have to use heavy forwarder. Okay, so now it's clear, right? This is you.
Yes.
You will work on search head. This arrow, you look at this here. It will read your indexer, which is a database for the log. And this agent, you can call it a forwarder in Splunk, send forward to the indexer. It's very simple architecture. But by the way, the architecture can be complicated as well because enterprise required some more depth. So look at these, the phases. Here you have a data input and then parsing is done, event processing. then indexing is done, and then stored in the indexing in the disk, and from there search can happen. So if you see that here, data input is been done by forwarder, parsing and indexing is done by indexer or heavy forwarder, which is not in this image, and searching can be done on the search head. This is something what you have. So what we'll do that, we'll install the indexer, search head and forwarder in order to experience the whole things. So I'm ignoring some of the things which I feel is not required for time being, because it'll become too big. Okay, so so now we are going to understand how this Splunk can be set up. That is something like something important which you have to do that. So Splunk primarily offer enterprise, cloud, and lightweight. So when we say enterprise, basically it's a paid options what you have. Cloud, I think you understood that means you have to don't have to worry about installations, configuration. Just collect the data, send it to cloud, and from there you will get everything over there. And the lightweight, which is a free version of Splunk with some 500 MB capacity of cap has been given here. So yeah, that is something which you have to understand. So if you want to, because most of the organization, large size organization, they want to set up inside the premises, because they don't want the log to be published. Most of the banking organizations and all, so they typically opt for Splunk Enterprise or something like that, so which can be hosted within a premises. So yeah, these are the three version of it. Now again, different types of licenses are there. Splunk Enterprise license, trial license, dev test license, free license, forwarder license, beta license. So that's don't get into that right now, because one session you don't need to go for that. So yeah, you see the trial period, enterprise 60 days is available, cloud 15 days, and light 30 days trial, which is 500 MB, always free for that light. Okay, so the cost related stuff right now we don't need to discuss. I just said capped at 500 MB of data, which is always free. Okay, so now I'm going to install the Splunk, and I'm going to help you with it. So what I'm going to do that, let me directly go to the installations and demo. So what I'm going to do that, so guys, it's very important you to understand, for installing the search head or indexer or heavy forwarder, not forwarder, okay, heavy forwarder, you know what, good thing is only one package will help you to set up a search head, indexer also, and heavy forwarder also. And for the universal forwarder, which is a lightweight agent, is for that you require a different utility. That means one package we can set up this one, this one, this one. So what I'm going to do in this session, I'm going to set up a search head and indexer in one place only, one package. Both I'm going to set up in one go, and then separately I'll install the universal forwarder. Okay, universal forwarder separately, and then universal forwarder will take up the, let's say, Linux data, send to indexer, and then we will search at search it. So this is something which I'm going to show you. So this is the one machine I needed for the demo. So here Splunk. Windows machine, I'm going for it. 20. And I'm going for large key, and this one I'm going for 30 GB, should be okay, and one machine is okay for time. Launch. Done. View all launches. So now you have, this is the IP address. I'm going to log into this machine. So Splunk, sorry, putty, right? Okay, so Ubuntu, enter. Now I'm going to become root. Done. Okay, so what we have here, this is the machine. Now I'm going to install the server. So how do we do that? So I'll go for Splunk, install, and DevOps school. Now these steps I already have documented. You can go to the official website, but it will take lots of time and that will kill your time. So this is something which will save your time here. So here, if you see all the instructions, you have it. Install Splunk server. Now which one you want? So tarball is you have here, and many other packages you have here. So I'll go for one. I'm looking for, wait a second. Hmm. So this is the latest version, which is 9. Okay. So I am going for tarball. So copy, and I'll go for got inactive. Ubuntu, Ubuntu. Yes, so everything I do in the OPT folder. So enter wget. This is the package. Control C, wget, enter. Okay, so now what we have, this is the package. Now I'm going to extract it. So for this, you can use all this command. So tar-jet xvf Splunk, and done. Now, you know what? This is your Splunk server. I repeat, same package can be used for server, search head, heavy forwarder, indexer, everything. Same package. But right now, this server which you are starting right now is a multi-role model actually. By default, it's all the model you supported. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start the services. So what I'm going to do, uh, there is a one command which you want to run, this one. Okay, accept license. Okay. So this is something which you have to do that. So now go to the bin folder and you have to run this code. Control C, done. Now this you have to select the username, administrator, admin, password, admin123, admin123. This is the your Splunk password. Now Splunk is installed and running. The port number on which it's running is 8000. Okay, so now I will go and hit this 8000. Done. So this is your server. You can call it search head plus indexer together. Okay, so let it come. Username was admin and password admin123. Enter. And this is your, search head. Whatever you want to search it, here it is. Click on the search and reporting, and the data as of now is not there, but you can, it's like a google.com for your company. All application which is running here. See, this is your google.com for your search. How old data you want to access it, you can do that. Did you understand, all of you?
Mm-hmm.
So guys, now you have this one. So if you see the architecture, what we did, we got this stuff, search head and indexer. Okay, so this is a search. You have a few applications. Again, you need to get comfortable. This is a Splunk Essential for Cloud and Enterprise 9.0. Now, this we are not using it right now because we don't have SIM license and all. That's pretty much. And secure gateway is another component, and some more options if you have updated and all kind of things. Product tours, which will help you with introduction of the data. Added data, you can. This is the something we can spend sometimes. Explore data and search and reporting is the same. Okay, don't get confused. Explore data and search and reporting is same. So add data, we should spend some time here. When I click here, See, and skip this one. See that. How can you add data to Splunk server? So if you read it, you can upload some CSV file also. Okay. So many times what you can do, let's say if you go for Windows event, there you can export into CSV. Okay. Or many data you can find available in the CSV that you can upload manually. That typically we do for learning purpose, but not for big work. But sometimes that place where you cannot install the forwarders, because let's say earth department or earthquake department of USA, they have a good amount of data, or weather department, those API is not been developed so far. So you can download their CSV file and upload it and analyze it, something like that, public data what I'm saying. Okay. But if you think no, I want to gather the data continuously, then what to do? So you can monitor certain files. That means server, I repeat, server can monitor certain files or HTTP endpoints or WMI services or some IP address port number or UDP, or server can run some script which can generate some logs and can store, or many things as such. So that option is also there in a monitoring section. I repeat this part, server will monitor files and port on this Splunk platform inside this one, the place we are running. That is there, which can server also can gather the data. Now you say no, we don't have this options. That so forwarder options. That means if it is a data is available the remote machine, and and you want continuous data from the remote machine, so for that reason you need a forwarder. You can say like a agent which need to be installed, configured to collect and forward the data to Splunk server. So forwarder is also there. I repeat, I told you that two types of forwarder: heavy forwarder and universal forwarder. Universal forwarder is the generic one which I'm discussing right now. Okay. So upload, I don't think so I have to teach you how to upload CSV file. You can get it here and upload this. And here, monitor, set up a monitor if you have a certain script on file. See, these all options you can do in a Linux, because I have installed the Linux Splunk server in Linux. So you can monitor files and directory. You can monitor some HTTP event collector, some TCP and UDP port. You can run some script also, and few more options are there. You can explore this and slowly, because Splunk is enterprise options, right? So many options you have for this, which is helping you. Okay, so do you have any upload data? So let me search for it. US earthquake data CSV, and oh my bad, USA. Here it is, I think. And this is the government site. And this is the information you have it. But where is the download options? Yeah. So past hour, past day, last 7 day, last 30 day, all earthquake or magnitude. I'll go for all. Okay. And you see, past 30 days, all earthquake and the data. My God. So it's a 2 GB, 2 MB only. Where it got downloaded? In download folder, I guess, right? Yeah. Download folder. So what I'll do, I'll go for Splunk and upload that. Now select this file. I don't think so I have to teach you. 500 MB is the limit, CSV format. You should study their this one failed. Okay, these are your work, offline work. If everything is automated, then your job is in problem. Okay, so now I selected, it's loaded actually. Now click on the next. Now you have to select and say source type. So automatically source type has been selected CSV. So that's good. But if you think you want to change something, no, this is not a CSV, some different types of data, unstructured data, structured data. So all these things you can specify, but automatically detected. So I'm okay with it. And you can save it as a different also. Input type. So input where from this data is coming. So host field where you want to give it. US earthquake, something like this. Host means you should give the IP address or something like this. Now there is one default index which will be stored. But do you want to store in the default? No. I want to store in the earth. There is one index I'm creating. Index is equal to database. Okay, so earth, and it will store metrics or events. So events is for the log, metrics for CPU, RAM kind of data and all. These are the things optional, so let it be. Save it. So it will store in the earth. And now review. Okay, so your input type uploading, file name this one, source type CSV, host is USA, index is earth, and submit. And now it has uploaded the data one. And here you can do a lot of things. Build dashboard, build apps, something customized thing. You want to add more data, you want to extract some fields out of the existing field, start searching. I click on the start searching and see here how much data you have. That means if you remember, in the last 7 days, how many earthquake has happened, you know? Anyone can read it? 10,236 earthquake has happened. I won't believe it actually, but this is real data from last 7 days. Correct now, all of you?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to filter all this earthquake data, you have it. What kind of input output you want, it's up to you. So if you want the data where the earthquake has happened, magnitude has happened more than, see here, in last 1 week, maximum earthquake has happened 1.6. How many times? 254 times. So you want selected and done. See this data, you filter it out. See here, I'm filtering out top limit 20 Mac, and these are the visualization for it. See here, magnitude. No, sorry, 4.6 has happened here. I see. The 4.6 reactor scales 89 times has happened. See, so you have to analyze this data. I mean, I'm just showing you the one example. So coming back to this one. Here, what I taught you how to add a data and so forth. So you go to the administration setting, add a data, and again same options you get it. Now you know what is the upload means. Now you want to monitor some files, but it is in a server itself. So let's say one of the options we should go here, and let's monitor some of the files and directories. Where is this file? So let me locate it. This file, let's say session got timeout, Ubuntu. Okay, so now where is located? So let's say cd var lib var log, right? Var log. And here, what kind of data you have? So syslog. So this is the location you want to monitor it. So go for and syslog and enter. This is a path. Here you see some path example is been given. Do you want to monitor this data continuously or only once? I want to keep monitoring it and minded this all in a same server. So click next and you see it has red. Now what do you want? So automatically they detected this log. You want to convert into different, that's okay. Next, where you want, this is a host. I let it be. Do you want to store in an index? No, I want to create a new index and this is called syslog index. Syslog. Log is the event type and save it. To index I created, remember that, and review and good to go and submit and start searching. And now you see source this one, host this one, index 6 log, source type 6 log. Now what do you want? Let me search error. Error. How many errors you have? Total 7 errors. Study this. Why this error has come? So 1 error, 2 error, 3 error, 4 error, 5 error, 6 error. This is something you want to look at it. So are you getting me what I'm trying to say? All of you.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the second way you can feed the data to indexer. And the last one, what we have is forwarder. So forwarder is basically agent, not index, my bad. Agent. So this also, which I'll teach you after some time, it required many configurations to change, which I need to cover that. But before that, let's say if you want your Splunk to collect the data directly from the cloud, that is also possible. So it can fetch the data from AWS, Azure, or all these things, and then download it at Splunk and then analyze it. But these all, once you take the data out of the AWS or something like this, that will be chargeable. So you have to be very careful. You need to analyze those stuff. This is the VPC flow logs. Here is 3 logs, and here you see CloudFront log. Somewhere it should be CloudWatch log also. Here you have a AWS ELB, web service config, CloudTrail. So these are the log. Okay, so these are the logs you have it. If you want matrices, then it will come cloud log, CloudWatch log. Okay, so if you want to get it from the networking directly, the log, Cisco and Palo Alto is supported. If you want certain operating system or security logs, so these are the 3 sources you can get it. McAfee, AD, Semantic Endpoint, and all this thing. So yeah, these are the options are available where you can get the data. Are you are you okay with it, all of you? Any questions, any doubts?
Differently from other tools that we have, plugins, the Splunk doesn't have external plugins that we can use in this case, right?
Yes, we do have it. But right now, the one which I'm focusing, okay,
Mm-hmm.
understand this way.
Okay.
The one which I taught you in the last one, other tools, they are basically for observability. And observability required all sort of data like trace, like matrices, all this kind of things. But here I'm focusing on the logs. Now you say,
Okay.
Rajesh,
Okay.
I want you to
So
cover the
whenever a log exists, can be put inside Splunk to be analyzed, no matter which log it is.
right, right,
Okay.
yeah, different types
Okay.
of log. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Good.
Splunk can be used for observability also. If you see here, one of the feature I'm covering right now, but they have so many features. You see, observability, here it is. You see, so every functions nowadays we have it, but it's very vast. It's a very vast tool.
Interesting.
Okay, so now the next part is how do we configure the agent? Agent means forwarder. So the forwarder can be set up in the various different places, and which will send a log to the indexer. So how do we do that? And this is something interesting. We'll have to change some of the configuration, which I'll show you in some time and all. And after that, once it's collected, then we have to start spending time here and search techniques. Here you have to spend some time. So some of the search techniques which I'll talk about it. Index. What was the name? I forgot that. What was the name which I copied? Anyone remember the index name? Index name? Earth and one more. There was one Earth and syslog. Two actually, right? Two index I created. So this was the Earth, all the logs, and 24 hours. And I'll go for the all time. You see, it's taking time a little bit. All time is like it's consuming a little bit more CPU and RAM. Okay, so what has happened? There is no results is coming. Why? Because they have set some 1 hour column. So just hold on. 30 days. Yeah, so that was very wide search. So they have set some limitations by default in order to not to crush the system and stuff like that. So all time is like very heavy. Okay, so this is something which you have. So now next topic is how to configure the forwarder.
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.